Alright, what is up you guys? I am here with a video that I never really planned on doing because of how difficult this really is. My top 5 favorite films of all time. And the reason why this is so difficult is because, my true passion in life is the art of film. Whether that's filmmaking or writing. And, I've delved very deeply into my own writing. So, it's something that I've studied. It's something that I feel like I've really just, it's second nature to me now. Like every time I watch a movie, I just analyze it. I just love breaking it down and delving into it. So, the type of films I like, obviously, intelligent films are number one for me. Something that makes you think, something that doesn't make you turn your brain off. And my number one will show you, actually, my number one and number two will show you kind of my style when it comes to either my own writing or just the type of films I like. I like very small, intimate films as opposed to blockbusters. I love, most comic book films for the most part. And there's one on this list that, is obviously a big franchise. But, for the most part, I don't really like modern cinema. It's just not for me. I like more classic techniques and just stuff that makes you think. Like, my all-time favorite TV show is The Twilight Zone. So that should really show you my style. But let's get started here. And, feel free down below, tell me your list. Or, if anyone here has a channel, make a video and let me know. Number 5. This is the most modern film on this list. Interstellar. And this is the only 4K release I have. It came with a Blu-ray. I love the cover, so I figured why not. I didn't have it. This film is one of the best films I've ever seen in theaters. I don't like 3D, so I didn't see it in 3D or anything, or IMAX. I saw it in just pretty shitty theater, actually. But it's an experience I'll never forget. One of my all-time favorite scenes ever is the scene where you have Matthew McConaughey's character just watching these messages back after, I think, 23 years passed, because they were obviously in a different time warp or time zone, whatever you want to call it. Just the drama of that scene, it made me tear up the first time. And it's not easy to make me cry or tear up during a film. There's only a handful that I have, but this one really hit every beat and feeling. And I personally rate films on, a 5 scale. And this is one that's difficult for me to rate because it is just so deep and so good. And, if you have the chance, please watch Interstellar. Number 4. We have, let me get it, Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. I love the original Star Wars trilogy. Probably my all-time favorite trilogy by far. The prequels are okay. I can deal with them. The current sequel trilogy, right there. So, I love, honestly, it's hard for me to say, Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi and A New Hope. I kind of love them all evenly. Obviously, I think Empire's the best, but A New Hope, I think, is just my personal favorite Star Wars film, and my number 4 film from a personal standpoint. I credit the original trilogy to really getting me into film as, very young. And I have all the VHSs, I have all the DVDs, and of course, gotta have the Blu-ray. Okay, number 3, The Shining. Not the shitty miniseries, Jack Nicholson, fucking masterpiece. Directed by Stanley Kubrick, and, this, for me, this is what a horror film should be. No jump scares, no bullshit cliches, no fucking bass coming out of nowhere just to get a jump scare out of you. This is a serious psychological masterpiece. Stanley Kubrick is one of my all-time favorite filmmakers, either number 1 or number 2. Probably number 2. And my number 1 would probably be Richard Linklater. But, this one, it's just special for me. Jack Nicholson, my all-time favorite actor, I can understand why it may not be faithful to the book. I understand it's not. But I feel like it's kind of its own thing. I think, the performances in this, the acting is spot on. And obviously that's a little bit of method acting and method directing from Kubrick's part. I mean, he put these actors and actresses through hell, but got a good performance out of them. So, number 3 on my list, The Shining. I don't think there's ever been a film so good at creating atmosphere than The Shining. Number 2, my number 2 and number 1 are very interchangeable, but I think I have this right. Number 2, may surprise some of you, The Blair Witch Project, 1999, not the shitty-ass fucking 2016 sequel, 16. This, for me, I have it on VHS, I have it on Blu-ray, I have it on DVD. This, to me, is the kind of horror film that I love the most. You don't need to see your antagonist. You don't need to have answers to everything. We don't know 100% sure what the antagonist really is in this film. It could just be people. It could be fucking, there's Josh and Mike theory. It could have been anyone. It could be a witch. This, it did create the monster that is the found footage genre. But I think there are a lot of good found footage films out there. The first Paranormal Activity is great. The rest are just, But I truly love this film. I think this is the film I've seen the most in my entire life. I can literally sit down and watch this countless times, and I will not get bored. I've been to the filming locations here. It's so cool to go there. I live pretty close to them. So, Heather Donahue, I thought she had a great performance in this. And this is a film that's very near and dear to me. Number 1 all-time favorite film for me, and I'd say this is the only movie I would ever say is 100% perfect with no flaws. 12 Angry Men. And this is the original 57 version. The remake's actually really good. It was made in the 90s, so that's a good film. But, obviously this version with Henry Fonda playing the main juror, and there's so many scenes in this film that just give me chills or just leave me awestruck. To a lot of people, this film would be boring. That's fine, I understand. But to me, this is filmmaking at its finest. There is literally a scene that's literally, I think it's like 18 minutes straight of one shot. That's impressive. And this only took, I think it was 2 weeks to film. So that's impressive. And I do have the Criterion edition. So, highly recommend getting this. You get a really cool insert booklet. And Criterion's the best way to go, man. So, yeah. This is another one that I credit really getting me into writing. So, yeah, that's my top 5 favorite films. This is an ever-changing list because I've seen countless at this point. So, yeah, it's just tough. But I think this is what it is for now, at least. My number 1 and number 2 will never change. Unless something comes out that completely changes that. So who knows? But I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your list down below. And for now, this has been the DVD Freak. Peace out.